Hello, dear students. This is my first lecture on group, and today I will discuss definition and examples of group. The definition of group is an algebraic structure with a non-empty set. A binary operation is said to be a group if it satisfies the following axioms. The first thing is closure law. That is, G is closed under a given operation. That is, for any two element A and B of G, when we operate by that operation, A operation B must be in G. Then the G is called closed. And it is also the given operation is associative over the elements of G. That is, for all A, B, C belonging to G, A operation B operation C is equal to A operation B operation C. Third thing is existence of identity. There exists an element denoted by E in G such that when we operate it over any element of group, that is, for all A belonging to G, E operation A is equal to A. There will be no change on the element, and that is equal to A operation E. Then E is called the identity or element of G, and it is the most important element of the group. And fourth property is existence of inverse. That is, each element of G possesses its inverse in G. That is, for all A belonging to G, there exists an element B belonging to G such that B operation A is equal to E equal to A operation B. Then B is called inverse of A and is denoted by A inverse. Now, if there is an additional property, that is G5 we can say, and it is commutativity. That is, if the given operation holds the commutative law, that is A operation B is equal to B operation A, then that type of group is called abelian group or commutative group. Now, first we discuss what is algebraic structure. Algebraic structure is what? Algebraic structure is consisting of a set G, which is non-empty, and a binary operation. Binary operation basically is a mapping which associate two elements of G over some element in G. Then that type of operation is binary. I am discussing some example over that. Consider the first algebraic structure n set of natural number with addition. So we take first structure n set of all natural number over addition. So we can easily see that if we take two natural number is set of all positive integers other than 0, 3 and 4 over natural number, then 3 plus 4 is equal to 7, which is again a natural number. So natural number is closed. So this structure is an algebraic structure. Again, we see that the addition over the set of natural number is associative. But since the additive identity is 0, and 0 does not belongs to natural numbers, so this n plus is not a group. If we see another example, and it is a semi-group, when only G1 and G2 are satisfied, then that algebraic structure is called semi-group. If only G1 is satisfied, then that algebraic structure is called groupoid. If G1, G2 and G3 is satisfied, then it is called monoid. If G1, G2, G3, G4 is satisfied, then it is called a group. And if it also satisfies the commutativity, then it is called commutative group or abelian group. Again, we see the second example, the set of natural number with respect to multiplication. Easy to see that it is a closed, because multiplication of two natural numbers is again a natural number. And very easy to see that the multiplication is associative over the elements of natural numbers. And also one belongs to natural number, that is identity, multiplicative identity is a set of natural numbers, but it does not possess its inverse. Since 3 belongs to a natural number, then its multiplicative inverse will be 1 by 3, which is not a natural number. So it is not a group, but it is a monoid. Now we see another structure, the set of integers, which is denoted by I or Z. And we take operation as addition. So we just go through the properties, and we can easily see that we take two integers, 3 and minus 4, and if we add them, then we get minus 1, which is an integer. So I is closed under addition. Similarly, we can easily see that addition is associative with the elements of integers. 0 is also in integers, so it is an identity element. So 0 also there, and for each element of I, the additive inverse possessed. That is what? If a is any integer, then minus a there exists, and a plus minus a is equal to 0. We can easily see if 3 is an integer, then minus 3 also belongs to I. So such that 3 plus minus 3 is equal to 0. So each element of integer possesses in additive inverse. And so I plus is a group. Additionally, we see that the addition is commutative over the elements of I. We can easily prove that a plus b is equal to b plus a for all integers. So that implies what? I plus is an abelian group. It satisfies all the 5 properties. Now we can easily check Q plus, that is set of rational number under addition, R plus set of real numbers under addition, and C plus set of all complex number under addition forms an abelian group. You can easily check it out. Now we check whether the set of rational numbers over multiplication and set of real numbers over multiplication is a group or not. So we can easily see that all the properties of groups are satisfied by this structure. But we see that there exists 0 belongs to Q, and the multiplicative inverse of 0 is 1 by 0, which is undefined. So there exists an element in that algebraic structure which does not possess its multiplicative inverse, so it will not be a group. So if we want to make it a group, then we have to drop 0 from the set of rational numbers and real numbers and complex numbers. So if we delete that 0 from the set of rational numbers, that is, we take a set of rational numbers other than 0, that is denoted by Q0, it will be a multiplicative group. Similarly, R0 and C0 also multiplicative group. And order of group is what? The number of element in the group is called order of the group. If the number of elements are finite, then that group is called finite, otherwise infinite. Now we check some of the examples of finite groups. So first of all, I am going to take the first example, that is 1 omega and omega square, which consists of 3 elements, where omega is cube root of unity with multiplication. Whether we check whether it forms a group or not. For that, first of all, we have to form a table which is called a composition table or Cayley's table, which is easily can be drawn like this. First of all, we take operation, that is a multiplication, and we write all the 3 elements in row and columns, and we operate the corresponding element. 1 dot 1 is equal to 1, 1 dot omega is equal to omega, 1 dot omega square is equal to omega square. Now omega dot 1 is equal to omega, omega dot omega is equal to omega square, omega dot omega square is equal to omega cube, that is equal to 1. Omega square dot 1 is equal to omega square, omega dot omega square into omega, that is omega cube, equal to 1. Omega square into omega square, that is omega to the power 4 is equal to omega cube into omega, that is equal to omega. So it is easy to see that we multiply each element of group with each other, and we see the resultant element is from the same set, 1 omega and omega square. So that is an indication that this set is closed under the multiplication. Now the second thing, from that, it is easy to see that multiplication is also associative over the elements of the set. And again, the identity element has the property then that is, when it is multiplied over any element, the same element will come. So 1 is the identity element, since we see that in the first row there is no change in the order of the elements. So 1 is the identity element. Now we have to find the inverses. For that, we check the identity element in each row. In the first row, it is in the first cell. In the second row, it is here. In the third row, it is here. So 1, when multiplied by 1, we get the identity. So 1 is self-inverse. Second, when we multiply omega by omega square, we get 1. and that is identity element. Similarly, when we multiply omega square with omega, we get 1. That is what omega is inverse of omega square, and omega square is multiplicative inverse of omega. That is, omega and omega square are inverses of each other. So all the three elements possess its multiplicative inverse. So now the last property, we can easily see that multiplication is also commutative. So this group forms an abelian group. And since it has three elements, so it is a finite group consisting of three elements. Now we check another element, we check. So consider the group 1 minus 1 I minus I with multiplication. Now we will prove that it is an abelian group. So first of all, we form Cayley table as explained earlier. And now we can easily see that all the elements, after operating to each other, the elements are same as the set 1 minus 1 I minus I. So this set G is closed under the multiplication, and also multiplication is associative over the elements. We can easily see where I is imaginary unit under root minus 1. Now from table it is clear 1 is the identity element, as in first row there is no change in the element by operating on by 1. And also for inverses, we check the first row, 1 is self-inverse. We check the second row, when we operated minus 1 with minus 1, when we get plus 1, that is minus 1 is self-inverse. When we multiply I by minus I, we get plus 1. So inverse of I is minus I. When we multiply minus I by I, we get plus 1. So inverse of minus I is plus I. So 1 and minus 1 are inverses of each other, where I and minus I are 1 and minus 1 are self-inverses, and I and minus I are inverses of each other. So all the four properties are satisfied. In addition, we can also see that the multiplication is commutative over the elements of G. So it is an abelian group. So once again, I have taken one more example, 1 minus 1 with multiplication. You can easily check it out. So these groups are finite groups. They consist finite number of elements. So the order of these groups, 1 omega omega square and 1 minus 1 I minus I, is 3 and 4 respectively. So these are finite groups. I have given some examples of finite groups. And now one more example is there. Consider the set Q plus Q, set of all non-zero rational number Q0, and with respect to addition, and the operation is defined by A operation B is equal to AB by 3. A operation B is equal to AB by 3. We check whether it forms a group or not. For this, we take two examples of positive rational numbers, 2 by 3 and 1 by 6. And we can easily see that the multiplication of the operation is, when we operate A and B with this operation, then the resultant will be AB by 3, which is again a rational number, which is positive rational numbers. So Q naught is closed under the given operation. We can easily check it out. The associativity, A operation B operation C is equal to AB by 3, operation C is equal to AB by 3 into C by 3, that is ABC by 9. Similarly, we get ABC by 9. So we see this operation is associative over Q dot. Also, now we have to find the identity element. We know the property of identity element, when it is operated over any element of the set, the element will remains unchanged. So we operate this identity, let E be the identity element, and we operate it over A, then we get EA by 3, and EA by 3 is equal to A. So by that we can find that E will be equal to 3, and 3 is a positive rational number. So identity exists in Q naught. Again, we have to check whether all element possess its inverse or not. So let inverse of A be B. So the property of inverse is what? When we operate this element with A, then we get identity. A operation B is equal to E is equal to B operation A. Now we have to find the value of B, which is easy to find, that A operation B is equal to AB by 3 and identity is 3. So we get B is equal to 9 by A. So if A is any positive rational number, then 9 by A is again a positive rational number. So each element of set possesses multiplicative inverse. So it is easy to see that all the 4 properties of group are satisfied by this set. So it is an algebraic structure, and this algebraic structure is a group. In addition, it is easy to see that this operation is commutative. So it is an abelian group. I am just discussing one more element, one more example, very important example. Consider a 2 into 2 matrix A alpha, which is cos alpha minus sin alpha, cos alpha, where alpha is any real numbers, and we check whether under the multiplication, matrix multiplication, it forms a group or not. So for that, we take 2 element alpha and beta of R, then A alpha and A beta belongs to G with the matrix, and we use the matrix multiplication over these 2 matrices, and we get this matrix. So we see what the change is. We have used the formula for cos of alpha plus beta and the formula for sin of alpha plus beta, and we see that alpha beta belongs to real number. So alpha plus beta will also be a real number, and this A alpha into A beta will be of the form cos alpha minus sin alpha plus beta, sin alpha plus beta, cos alpha plus beta, which is of the same type as A alpha, which is same type of matrix. So we have seen that A alpha into A beta is equal to A alpha plus beta. So G is closed under the matrix multiplication. Now, since we know matrix multiplication is always commutative, and so this here the same matrix multiplication will also be commutative. Now 0 is a real number, and we see that cos 0 minus sin 0, sin 0 cos 0, that is 1 0 0 1. It is an identity matrix, we know it, and so this will be the identity matrix, which is the identity element for this set. So identity element exists in this group, and now we check whether the inverses exist or not. So we see that when we multiply 2 matrices A alpha into A beta, we get A alpha plus beta. We get A alpha plus beta. So we can easily see that the inverse element exists. So this forms an abelian group with respect to this operation. The set of matrices forms an abelian group. Now one more example where the operation is A operation B is equal to AB by 2. Similarly, as AB by 3, we can see it. Here is the solution of that. You can easily check it out yourself. This operation forms an abelian group. Now we check some more examples on addition with finite groups. For this, we take addition of residue classes. Residue classes, that means addition modulo m. Addition modulo m is what? When we add 2 integers of residue classes, then their addition modulo m will be r mod m. That is, when we add 2 by 3 with respect to addition modulo 6, then it is 5. And when we add 2 to 4, it will be equal to 6. Addition modulo 6, it will be equal to 0. That is what we do. We divide the number by 6 and write the remainder here. So the addition will be only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and above than 6 resultant elements will be divided by 6, and we write the remainder as is here. 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. 12 divided by 6, remainder will be 0. So these are addition modulo. Now we check the set of residue classes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 with respect to addition modulo 4 forms an abelian group or not. For this, first of all, we form the Cayley table by this 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 2, 2, 0 plus 3, 3. And when we operate by 1, 1 plus 0, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 1 plus 4, 4 divided by 4, remainder 0, so 0. 2 plus 0, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 2 plus 2, 0, 2 plus 3, 1. 3 plus 0, 3, 3 plus 1, 0, 3 plus 2, 5. Yeah, 5 means when we divide by 5, it remainder is 1. So it is 1. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 divided by 4, remainder will be 2. So this. So we have seen that all the elements, the resulting element, after operating each element over each element, we get 0, 1, 2, 3. So this set is closed as shown in the complex composition table, KLA table. So it is closure law exists. It is first thing. Then we can easily check the given operation, that is addition modulo 4, is also associative. And we see from table 0 is the identity element. And now for inverses, I have already told, to find the inverse, we have to check the identity element in each row. In the first row, identity element exists at the very first cell. In the second row, so 0 is inverse of 0 is 0, that is 0 is self-inverse. And for second row, for 1, the 0 element exists in the fourth cell. That is, when 1 is operated by 3, we get 0. The inverse of 1 is 3. Similarly, inverse of 2 is 2, and inverse of 3 is 1. So that is what 0 and 2 are self-inverses, where 1 and 3 are inverses of each other. So each element of the set possesses its inverse. Commutativity, and commutativity we get 2 plus 4, 3 is equal to this 1, and it is easy to say it is commutative. So this forms an abelian group with respect to addition modulo 4. It is another example of finite groups. Similarly, one more example is there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with addition modulo 6. You can easily see it. And one more example is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is not a group. And similarly, some more examples. Now we see the multiplication, addition, multiplication modulo 7, and we take elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can easily see that all the 4 properties of group are satisfied. So it forms a group. And one more example is of very important example. The nth root of unity forms an abelian group under multiplication. So nth root of unity means 1 to the power 1 by n. We know 1 can be written as cos 2r pi plus I sin 2r pi, where r is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and ... n minus 1. We can easily apply De Moivre's theorem. It is set of all complex numbers. We denote it by this set, e to the power 2ir pi by n. R is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, n. So it consists of n element, and we write these elements by a and b, and we can easily see that the multiplication of two numbers is again from the set, so it is closed. Also, the multiplication of complex number, multiplication over the set of complex number is associative always, so it is associativity holds. So there is 1 in that set, so it is 1 is the identity element, and similarly we can find the inverse. So inverse also exists. So this set of all the set of all nth root of unity forms an abelian group under multiplication. So it is easy to see. So that is all about this lecture, in which I have discussed the definition of group and various examples of groups. Hopefully you understand it. And now we move to the second set very soon. Okay, thank you.